The following program may contain strong language and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, because you can be watching this at any time of the day. It is your fave duo back at it again. I know y'all missed me last week, but I am back, y'all. Introducing your co-host.
What's good, y'all? Y'all know who it is. I'm here almost every week, and I was here last week.
All
Okay,
right,
I had the
y'all.
show to myself for all of 2.5 seconds. Your fave prevention training specialist, until further notice, Dwayne from the Networks program.
I'm screaming. Well, y'all, I was out last week due to a training of, being certified as an HIV counselor. And y'all, your boy passed. Period. Your boy passed. I am officially a HIV test counselor. So now I can prick the fingers. Okay, now I can prick the fingers as well. You can come see me. And I can, prick your finger, and take your blood, and I can give you an HIV test, rapid HIV test, in under 60 seconds, period. Well, 60 seconds. But yeah, so your boy is happy about that. So welcome, and how are you feeling today, Cole?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like just real mellow. Okay, so y'all know last week I scarfed down like the breakfast sandwich before the show. This week I ain't have no food, so I'm hungry. But other than that, I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm zen in my bag, like I always am. And, just happy to have you back.
Thank you. It's not nothing like, this present. Y'all know y'all need this present every week, you know what I'm saying? But it's something that I bring, and it's something that we bring together. It's just different. It's the, Oh, yeah. I cannot. But without further ado, I would like to thank Pyro Media Network and CDC for bringing the Muncie Hunty, and APLA Health for bringing us to y'all every week. I feel pretty good today. I guess y'all can tell I'm a little hyper. When I got on the elevator to come to work today, I was coming down my apartment building, and it was like this custodian girl or whatever. She always see me every morning, and she was like, "I love your outfits. I'm always looking forward to your outfits every morning." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then she was like I love how you just don't. No, I said I was in my apartment.
Oh, okay, I missed that part.
Yes, on the elevator to come to work. You gotta catch up. Keep up. You gotta keep up. But yeah, so she was like, "I love how you don't care," and I was like, "I really don't." And she was like, "Yes, I wish people were like that. People just be weird and society." And I'm like, "Girl, I like you." So she started my day to a good day. So before I got in my car, I was like, "I appreciate her. Like, yes, girl, you better do your thing." So yeah, I got in the car and I was driving to work, and I was like, "I feel good." And then I had.
She fit?
She's not black, so
she's not black.
No, it's not a black woman.
Wow.
She's I'm not gonna say that, but she's I don't know what she is, so I'm not gonna say anything. But
okay, so she's from the fairer skin side of things.
Yes, correct. But it was sweet, and I loved it. And I do see her every morning cleaning like the elevators or like the hallways. So I loved it. I lived for it. But nevertheless, y'all know what we do here. Okay, we got our Swab and Chill initiative, the at-home HIV test kit, y'all. We can send to you if you want to know your HIV status in the comfort of your own home. But now you can also come and get the Healthy Him checklist. That's what we really pushing. Okay, STI testing and HIV testing for $50. You get $50 if you just get those two tests. And now your boy can prick you. It's not just Caitlin anymore, okay? You can come see me and I can prick your finger, okay? And then you get your STD testing with either Kai or Karina, who you will meet when you come in, okay? one of them two will do it. And then without further ado, it's like, you know, it's done. And you get your $50 and that's that on that. Okay. And then for those who are positive and need to be linked into care or linked back into care, Kaylin is here for that. You can give us a call at any number, to be honest, and we will direct you to the right sources. Okay. We are here for you. We are out here for you. That's our logo.
Okay,
The logo
right,
is whether
right.
you play with he, she, or them. We are out here for you.
I think it's her, him, or them.
No, I think it's he, she, them. But what? Regardless, whoever you play with,
Child, okay,
we out here for you.
It's on the website. Check the website.
Whoever you play with, we support it all. Okay, we out here for you. Okay, because we's out here Sexual Health Center
Okay.
at 3741 South La Brea Avenue.
You two straights. We talking to you too.
Okay, that part. We out here for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That part. And that's just that.
And they're not so straights. You know, you ain't gotta tell nobody. We won't.
I'm screaming. So tell me a little about Prep and Pat. Like, what's that is?
Okay, so first of all, I'll also be pricking the fingers. Okay, so you can come in and see me from the networks program. Okay, and we will incentivize you. We get you a little extra $20. Okay, if you watch P Valley, it's $20. Okay. And yeah, you know, it's real quick. You ain't got to do too much. If you want to do the other portion, the SCI and SCD portion, you can do that as well. But it is not required for us to incentivize you, okay? And Prep and Pep basically is pre-exposure prophylaxis, aka the AKE child.
Yeah, I might say who? Who's who?
AKA,
Mm-hmm.
not AKE child. But also known as the birth control of HIV. Okay, so you take that pill once a day to prevent you from contracting HIV. If you are already negative, okay, you must already be negative before you start PrEP. Okay, which is even more reason to come get tested for us. Okay, so you can know, so you can be on PrEP or not.
We're her. We her.
Okay? So you take it once a day, and it prevents you from getting HIV 99.9%. Okay,
that part.
So unless you got 0.01%, you good.
And honestly, like, if you really like supportive and you like, you know what, I just want to help y'all out too. And on my status, you could be like, Ryan, prick this finger, and then give him the other hand and be like, Dwayne, prick this finger, and period. We both get it. And we both can get you money.
It don't exactly work like that, but call us.
It do though. It do if you want to. If you want to work, we two different programs. It works.
It don't work.
It do work like that. It work like that.
You can do it at the same time, friend.
Not the same time, but it's like, you know, within that same day, you can do that. Mm-hmm. If they have an appointment with you at 12 o'clock and then they come back to me at like 4, it will still count because it's like you getting the test.
I'm not going to discuss this on the air. Just call us. We'll figure it out.
Call us.
I'll help you figure it out because there's a way.
There is a way where it can happen.
Yes.
There's always a way.
Yes.
There is always a way.
Yes.
And that's that on that.
Yes, baby.
I cannot. But let's talk about what's going on today.
Ooh, on today,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to treat me like treat me. No, we're not doing that song. But it is my hip hop class, okay? Where we be, you know,
What today is?
Tuesday.
Okay.
And we will be, you know, shaking and baking and, you know, burning them calories, all right? You know, dancing, learning some moves. Oh no, you can take it to the club, you can take it to your man, you can take it to your woman, you can take it to your day, you know, it ain't nothing. Okay. Look, get down on the floor. Okay, non-binaries, get down on the floor. Okay, but yeah. Come see me. I'm gonna teach you how to dance. I'm gonna teach you how to two-step. I'm gonna teach you whatever you want to do. If you want to twerk, I can teach you how to do that too. Okay, and you don't need a lot of booty to do it. Okay,
that's true.
Because I don't.
Okay, that part, me too.
Okay,
and that's that on that.
And we be shaking.
Little booties matter.
Little booties matter. Little booties matter. Little booties matter.
Well, yes.
I like that one. But
I think the one after that is
yes.
Damn.
Without
I want the cheerleader.
I cannot. But yes, I would just like to also thank, you know, Dwayne publicly for being on this show. Because although, you know, I am Healthy Him and this is the Healthy Him show, I would like him to know that he is appreciated for doing this show with me because I think he feels unappreciated sometimes, you guys. And because he's a different program and it's not called, you know, the network show. But he is here, an assistant, and we appreciate him. We love him. And yes, so thank you, co-host. Without further ado, though, on Thursday, we got BQT, Black Queer Talks, where we talk about sex, love, relationships, and all the things in between. So our recent BQT, we did intersectionality, and we touched on a little bit about, how it is to have multiple identities beyond your race and your sexuality. And we can get into it today as well. So let's bring in the main topic. What are we talking about today? Bring it in, 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 bring it in. Get it be A, get it be A, get it be Black, queer, and what else? That's today, y'all. Black, queer, and what else? So there's many identities that a lot of Black queer individuals can identify with. Specifically Black queer men, because that's who we is. And for me,
Who said that?
I did. So
I ain't good.
oh. I didn't say you were. I didn't say you were. I said queer.
I ain't that either.
Queer, do you know what queer is? It could be a spectrum of things. Thank you very much. You could be bisexual, you could be gay, you could be non-binary, you could be dating a trans individual or something of the sort who is in the LGBT community, and that will classify you as queer to some degree. Thank you.
Wow.
Anyways, oh, that's not what I heard. I heard you was doing something.
What you heard?
Anyways, nevertheless, no stress, too cute to be pressed. Now, like I was saying, as far as identities go, you have multiple identities. So although we are Black queer men, we have the other identities that we add on to. So for me, it's like I'm Black, I'm queer, and I'm Greek. And that's also, I add on, I have a college degree. I'm college degreed up. You know what I'm saying? All of that adds on layers to one's identity. I'm also the only child. That's another identity that a lot of people can identify with. It's just various identities. Like, what are some of your identities?
I'm Black. No, I'm just playing, y'all.
Outside of your sexuality and race.
I am Black. I am queer. I am an athlete. Okay.
Okay, what's your athletic choice?
Okay, so I used to back in the day run track and field.
Oh, same. What you run?
So I did the 300-meter hurdles, and then I did long jump.
Oh, period. I did 55-meter dash and the hurdles as well.
I can see that you got long legs.
I be going. But then I got disqualified one time because I had earrings, and that was when I first got my earrings pierced, and I was 16 years old, and I was so mad. I was like, "What?" It was like he won, but he had earrings and disqualified. I was like,
"That's ghetto." They don't do that out here.
Oh well, they did that in Maryland. But anyway,
they're like, be fly if you want to.
I cannot. What other identities? So you said athletes.
Artists.
Come on, artists. Same.
What else?
Testify.
Like just I don't know. Like my intersectionalities don't really show up. I say I'm a public health advocate.
These are things that, like, genuinely, like, this is why I want to do this, because these are things that people bypass because it's so normal to us. As someone said in BQT recently, they were like, a fish asks another fish, like, how's the water? But the fish didn't respond, like, what's water? Because they're so used to it. It's their life. But if you really take a step and realize, like, what's around you, like, you don't realize how many identities that you actually have. Like, we live it, so it's, like, so normal to us. But these are things that other people do not experience. Like, other people do not experience getting a college degree, like myself. Other people don't experience being in the public health field, like us. Other people don't experience being an athlete, because some people aren't very athletic. Other people just don't experience being dancers or artists. They don't know that experience. So this is why I say that intersectionality. It goes beyond just being, Black and queer. You have multiple identities. And I feel like with that comes other things like religion. Some people being Black, queer, and Christian, being Black, queer, and I know somebody in BQT said they were Muslim. Like, that's different. I ain't never seen a Black queer person be Muslim. I don't know. Like, that's just a different experience for me to witness.
Shout out to the Freak Elite.
I cannot. But yeah, it's just like, it's different. So I like hearing people's different experiences. And then I heard of like a Black queer minister. I'm like, okay, like, y'all better, okay, like, you go ahead, because I ain't never seen none of that. Like, I hear about it, but I never seen like face to face. I never actually met an individual like one-on-one who actually had that experience. So although this doesn't seem like very, oh, this is like my normal life. It's still like
You never met a black prime
it's
minister?
different. No, I haven't until yesterday.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But a reverend.
No,
Pastor.
I don't know. A lot of them be DL, child, so we don't know.
Hmm.
You never know. But I just feel like our identities, a lot of these identities that we don't really think about because it's so like secondhand to us. But like a lot of these are like taboo to some people, or not even taboo, but just like a lot of people can't fully relate or identify with. So yes, being in public health, that's definitely identity. Being an athlete.
So are your identities like recognized? Like, what are your identities? Matter of fact, because did you even like?
I did. I said it. I said in the beginning. You're not listening. You're right next to me and not listening. That's crazy.
See,
I said black.
This is why I be trying to eat before I get on the show, y'all.
Well, that's not nobody's fault but yours.
I be like chili cheese fries with grilled onions, please, thank you. Oh my god. Okay.
I said easily. I had a banana this morning and I was okay. I had some water.
You know, and you could do that.
I can. It was enough for me for right now. I'm still hungry.
But
to get through the show, I'm good. So
I need me a hot pocket.
Like I was saying, my identity is very much something to say. So black, queer, college degreed, Greek, only child, public health field, spiritual, because that's the thing. A lot of people can't identify with spirituality. I don't do religion personally. That's just me. Yeah, that's how I feel. Demisexual. That's another identity.
So, do you recognize your identities as strengths or weaknesses?
When I look at a majority of my identities, I think, see my stomach grumbling too. See, I told you I'm hungry, but I'm gonna get through it. When I look at some of my identities, I see some of them as strengths and then some of them as weaknesses. It just depends on what identity we're talking about. The ones I would consider strengths, I would consider being black a strength because we are resilient. We are some resilient ass people, okay? We are strong and we just lit. Queer as well, being queer and openly queer and just being your authentic self, that's a strength to me. That's something that I very much so like identify with and stand on, like always get my authentic self. I tell you this every week, y'all know what it is. But also on a weakness spectrum, I feel like my demisexuality can be a weakness sometimes. Like the fact that I'm demisexual, for those who do not know what demisexual is, and you're just tuning into the show. Demisexual is essentially someone who cannot have any type of sexual relations with another until they have developed an emotional connection to them. So you cannot date or have any sexual intercourse with the person to y'all, you know, form that emotional bond. Once you form that emotional bond, then it's like, okay, now I feel like I can give myself to you because now I'm connected to you in an emotional state. And that's just me. And I feel like that can be seen as a weakness solely for the fact that a lot of people out here, especially in the Black queer community, they ain't about emotions. And if they are, they be keeping that to themselves or real hidden. And it's like me being mostly an open book or trying to, you know, give myself to someone is difficult because then it's like, I don't know if you really serious or you just trying to, yeah. You trying to make me think that you connected to me emotionally just so you could with me. So I don't know. What about you?
Does that happen a lot?
Not currently or recently, but I would say in my past, yes.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like Andrew. I feel like all of my intersectionalities are strengths. I don't feel like any of them are weaknesses. I feel like it's very rare that like anything is really a weakness. Like if any, it's all in how your perception, one. But two, just like how you go about it. Like yes, some of these intersectionalities, like being Black or being queer or being, you know, an athlete, or you know, being a dancer, being or in the public health field, like some of those may hinder you and create some walls or borders that prevent you from accessing certain things at certain times. However, like I don't ever let those barriers, that's the B word I was looking for, barriers, yes. I don't let those barriers like, you know, defeat me or, you know, make me feel defeated. I just go about, okay, it didn't work this way, like we're gonna try it another way. Like it's, and also I just don't feel like anything that makes me me could ever be like a weakness. Like, can I grow and learn from it? Yes. But like at the end of the day, it's just kind of like we are who we are. How do I say this? Who we are has gotten us this far. So I just don't see it. Like I don't see it being like a way to be like, I could do without this. Or like I don't identify with this intersectionality because of this particular environment or et cetera, so on and so forth. I don't do that. Very similar to Ryan, I myself all the time.
He won't be me so bad, y'all. But but raising everything, this was never planned.
Right.
This was never planned.
He don't even wear glasses, y'all, and y'all know this.
Sweetie, I do sometimes. We can go to past episodes where I have worn these exact glasses. Thank you.
Right, but does he like? Are they prescription?
It don't matter.
Exactly.
It don't matter.
Exactly.
That's
exactly
besides the point. Okay, and that's that on that. But like I was saying, I do agree with that, and I think that's where also I was thinking like me being an only child comes into play as well. Like that being, ooh, child, my act teacher would kill me if he heard me saying all these likes. But as a whole, being an only child has hindered me in certain instances where it could come off as a weakness. As a whole, being like, how can I, let me see, phrase this. Essentially me always wanting people around, but then also isolating myself at the same time. Like, it's like, oh, I want to be with people, but at the same time, I'd rather just be on myself. I'm used to being on myself and doing everything on myself. So let me just be on myself. Like, being the only child formulated that. So it can be like a positive and, you know, a con at the same time. It just depends. Your pro, con, you know, depends on how you do it, you know. But I love people, usually. So just depends on the people. But at other times, I'm like, you know, I'm an ambivert. Like an extroverted introvert. Like it's like I'm extroverted, but then when I'm like introvert, I'm like, okay, it's time for me to be on myself. Go away. Me time. Yeah, that's that. And the inner child lives in me, so he just be like, yeah, we need time alone, right? And I just be like, you're right. Okay, let's do that. Let's watch our shows. Let's eat. Let's chill. Rejuvenate. Boom. Because you can't keep giving your energy. Don't pour into people who are not pouring into you, and keep giving your energy to people who are not giving you that energy back. No reciprocity. We do not want that. Like, no. And that's just down that. Okay. So again, Black, queer, and what else?
I mean, hey, some people feel that what you give is nothing. So if they feel like they're getting nothing, they're gonna get that right back. Even if you feel like it's something.
That's fair. That's true.
But you said that you are a scholar, okay, collegic, you know.
And I'm all that. Y'all see my shirt? Shout out to the 90s. Let me stand up for a second. Y'all see?
Don't knock her back down over.
I'm not. I'm just letting them see, you know?
They seen too before.
You know? No, they haven't. I never worn it for the show. It's my first time on the show with this. So yes. Oh, this is all that. This is all that. Okay, I would do the rap, but like that's what
I don't even remember it.
But it's just an introduction before I blow your mind. The show is all of that, and yes, we do it all the time. So sit your booty on the floor in a chair, ground her in the air. Just don't go nowhere, because everything we do is all of that. We entertaining you with all of that. My posse and my crew is all of that. So sit still, because we're coming right back.
If we do more, we might have to pay them.
I cannot. All right, but anyway, yes, this is a classic 90s show, you know, sung by TLC. But nevertheless, like we were saying.
Yeah, but do you ever feel like, you know, you being a college graduate or Greek is a privilege?
Do I use any of my identities as a privilege, is what you're asking?
No, I asked you, do you feel like they are a privilege? That's not what I said. I said what I said.
Funny. He is funny, y'all, because that's not what I wrote on the paper. That's not what I wrote on the paper. But he interpreted how he interpreted it, and it's funny, y'all. He's a kid.
It's a freestyle.
But nevertheless, no stress. Too cute to be purse. I don't think it's a privilege. I've had privileges with those identities.
You don't feel like it's a privilege?
No, I don't. Let me elaborate. So, I do feel like there are privileges with these identities, but I do not feel like it is a privilege. I have privileges for being Greek because I know that I can get into certain events for free. I have in college and still do. In certain instances, if I really want to go, I can just get easily connected with anybody from the Divine Nine. If you guys don't remember from like one of our first episodes, I am a part of the Divine Nine National Panhellenic Council. So yeah, it's like we have that access, that easy access to get into events or to do things other than non-Greeks have. And that happens. That's the privilege of being Greek. But as far as a privilege being a scholar, a degreed scholar, as you like to say, I think it's more so, yes, it gives me more access to certain things, but I don't think that it was a privilege in actually going to school. Like, yes, but no. Because although some people don't have the opportunity, so yes, I could see that. And that's the yes portion. But the no portion being that, one, I went to PWI. I went to PWI, it's a predominantly white institution, as where HBCU is a historically Black college and university. I did not go to HBCU. I wanted to, got into one, couldn't afford it, long story, not going to it. But PWI, essentially predominantly white institution. I went to one who was offered me scholarships, okay, for not only my what I was studying at the time, my major, but also for me being a transfer student at that time because I was transferring from my other university, Performing Arts College. But I got a lot of money out of that, and the first one already put me in a lot of debt. And based on how finances are with families and certain things and your circumstances, it just, the cards were dealt how they were dealt. But it was what it was. I feel like I had a privilege, again, to go to college, but I feel like there's more so privileges in me having a degree now and being like, oh, well, I know like I can apply for this job because they're only looking for someone who has a bachelor's or higher. Or I can apply for this because they are looking for someone who has experience in XYZ, something that I may have studied while in college or something I'm certified in doing, et cetera, et cetera. Like, it's just like those type of things, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just depends. So that's just that on that. What about you? Do you feel like any identities have privilege?
Not really. No, I mean,
You don't think
so? I mean, it's more of like the subcategory that came with like being an athlete, like the nice body. Like, I feel like that gains me privilege, but I don't feel like necessarily like me being a dancer or like me running track. Like,
that's pretty privileged, yes. But I also feel like you have a lot of
ugly in a dancer.
That's true.
Or running track.
But let's talk about your other identity that
different.
you have been touched on.
I was born like this.
That's a talk about identity that you haven't really identified with since we started the show.
Like what?
You're masculine presenting. Naturally.
Yeah.
That's a privilege.
Yeah.
As a gay man.
Well, no, because even then, like,
for the most part.
Because like I could switch it up.
You can switch it up, but when you are masculine presenting, it is a privilege for you because you can operate in certain spaces that a lot of femme presenting people cannot at all the time.
But you can be masculine presenting and still be feminine presenting at the same time.
You can, but what I'm saying right now is that you are predominantly masculine presenting.
Correct.
As of right now.
Because why? I think that shit is sexy.
Anyways. But that is a privilege in certain spaces, especially certain heterosexual spaces. Like certain heterosexual spaces, it's like, oh, like he can blend in. Like,
why can I just blend in?
That's not what she said, but I know what you were trying to say. But
don't look at me.
See, I watch a lot of TV. I know I be quoting stuff all the time. So the fact that you quoted that, like, that's me. I'd be like, I already know what it was. Let's go into a commercial and we'll get right back to this, you guys.
Are you in need of a quick and easy way to know your HIV status? Swab and Chill is a discreet way to learn your status in the comfort of your own home. The process gives you results in 20 minutes. Swab the upper gums, swab the lower gums, and voila! Simply follow the colorful step-by-step instructions located inside the kit. Or call APLA and we can assist you virtually. In addition, all kits include condoms and lube for that penetrative fun. For our trans clients, we have Swab and Chill Plus, a customizable kit for trans-specific needs. And we haven't forgotten about COVID either. All kits include personal protection gear, like face masks, comfortable yet stylish. A personal touch tool for dealing with those germ-infested handles and ATM keypads. Wet wipes for those little messes that need cleaning up. Also, keep that summer body protected with Swab and Chill sunscreen. And don't forget about our fanny packs for those quick trips to the store. All this can be yours. Simply call Swab and Chill at 323-329-9713 or email us at swabandchill@apla.org. We would love for you to be part of our Swab and Chill family.
Come swab and chill with us!
And we are back. Okay. I cannot know. He's trying to turn up. We are back,
y'all. I am trying. Okay.
We are back from commercial break, y'all. I didn't even realize it was the halfway point, so I had to just cut the commercial, y'all. But we will get into this topic, and I couldn't stop talking about it because I was like, it's so something that we need to talk about in the community. Like, we have more identities than just being Black and gay or Black and queer in general. It's like we are more than that. Know that. Period. Okay.
Go Charles!
I cannot. But when we left off, we were talking about using identities as privilege, and I got a little bit into mine. You talked about how you didn't feel that you have any identities that you could use as a privilege.
I mean, outside of the queer one, because the queer and the Black queer, the two main intersectionalities have the most privilege, in my opinion. The other ones, not so much.
I think you being masculine presenting is one of your larger ones that you're like not,
But I mean,
right now,
like,
that's just me.
Our identity, like, as far as like that is concerned, I feel like that is more so like you can change your identity as you see fit. You know what I'm saying? As far as like masculine and feminine presenting is concerned.
That's true.
So it's just kind of like, okay, on the one hand, yes, that is a privilege, but on the other hand, it's just like everyone can have that privilege if they wanted to present in that way.
Not always. Like, I know one of my good girls who's at BQT who stated that they aren't the easiest at fully being, masculine presenting. They may tone it down, but it's still not masculine presenting. You're still going to know automatically looking at someone and being like, they're gay. It's different when someone looks at you, because some people don't know. Like, you still get hit on by females because they do not know, which I've also witnessed myself.
And I love y'all too.
But it's just the fact that they can just look at you and be like, they don't know until they actually talk to you. But other people, it's just look at you, they're gay. Or come talk to you, they're gay. But with you, it's different. That's what I'm saying. That's a privilege in some spaces because it's a different navigation.
I still stand by what I said though, because I believe that it is possible, and I feel like said individual that you were talking about, again, like it is in the choices that they make, in how they choose to present and how they feel the most comfortable. I'm not saying that you have to change who you are to gain privilege. I'm just saying, like, presentation can be switched, and I feel like anything that can be changed or like maneuvered, I don't feel like that should count as like an intersectionality, just because it's like,
but it's not natural. Like, them trying to be masculine presenting is not their natural instinct. That's natural for you is what I'm saying.
Oh, you saying I ooze daddy energy?
Okay, now he's dragging it. Next question. Next, do you feel Black queer men, or how do you feel about Black queer men equating themselves to Black women, aka the double minority syndrome? How you feel about it?
I feel like we shouldn't compare.
Oh, elaborate.
I feel like we are both double minorities. However, like the conversation usually comes up when people are comparing one struggle to the other, and that is not okay.
Okay, that part, I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
For me, time to the garage show. I feel like we're equal. And
You popping babies out your coochie?
let me finish. I don't like that. You know, I don't like when somebody talk or say something without the context of me elaborating. For me, we are built differently, and although we have different anatomy, we still function mostly the same. Our mental processes are the same. Our defense mechanisms are typically the same. Especially, I can't speak for all queer men, but for me, I feel like a lot of feminine presenting men, then it's different. Whether they have feminine energy, but everybody can have some feminine energy, but whether they have feminine energy or predominantly feminine, and then also feminine presenting. I feel like that correlation between that and Black women is similar. For me, I always feel like which is why I always had Black female friends, like best friends, because it was like, where's the same? Like literally, although you have a vagina and you are able to give birth, we go through the same things. Like we deal with Black men who are the white men of the Black society, Black community. Black men talking down to us, whether they're disrespecting you, calling you out your name, calling you B word, calling me the F word, they're disrespecting both of us. Whether you're getting catcalled by that Black man or this feminine gay guy is essentially walking down the street and some trade trying to talk to him or disrespecting him in some way.
Release the trade. Release the trade. Okay.
Shout out to Beyonce. But yeah, and Chloe, hello, surprise. But nevertheless, I just feel like there is a correlation. I'm not saying we are completely 100% the same, because we're not. But when it comes to like lingo and certain things,
the lingo.
My accent. When it comes to lingo,
yes, Baltimore,
and certain things,
sorry,
it's like when it comes to lingo and certain things, I feel like a lot of people say Black women started some things, but I always feel like it's usually a queer person, usually of, feminine presenting status-ish. And with that, I feel like Black women then take on our lingo and use it, and then we just like, yeah. But I feel like we try to figure out like who it belongs to. Like, does it belong to us? Does it belong to them? And it's like, it's just belongs to the Black community in general. And then some Black cis-het men now use some of our lingo. And I looked at like sometimes funny, and it's like,
it's giving.
That's how it is. And it's like, let's just keep it for the Black community. Like, it doesn't matter. But for me, I feel like I'm not a Black woman. I know that. Although I make jokes sometimes. I'm an independent Black woman. But although I make jokes,
I'm so sorry, Black women.
There is, child. No, sorry for what? It's a joke.
Okay, we gonna get into it after you finish.
Yes, because it's a lot of Black women out there who make jokes relative to us. But
that doesn't make it right either.
It doesn't make it right. But the thing is, we understand what it is. When we call each other girl or she said this, we're already inhabiting that. So that's what it is. Like when a gay guy is calling another gay guy girl or saying she did this or she did that, that's naturally like how we are. Like we are both feminine presenting and we identify with that, and we can use our pronouns in that way because that's how we are. Not saying that we would talk to a fellow girl like that, but it depends.
I would.
I don't know. I don't want no girl to call me girl because girl, I'm not a girl. I'm only a girl to my girls, but I'm not a girl to you, girl. Like different. I'm very much so he, him. But yeah, it's different when it's a fellow gay person or queer person compared to it being a cis het woman. That's just me.
And I think we should tie into that too, because why is it disrespectful?
What do you mean?
Like, why is that? Why, like, only the other girls can say girl, but the cis girls can't say girl?
For me, I feel like yes, because not everyone, especially a lot of queer men, they don't identify with that, especially in a heterosexual space.
Mm-hmm. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole other time.
It is. But for me, I personally don't like someone either misgendering me or giving me the wrong pronouns. Like either or can happen with anybody. So I feel like for me personally, I don't want nobody to give me the wrong pronouns. So when I come into a space, it's he, him. Like no matter how feminine I may seem, it's just like my pronouns are he, him. That's just that on that. But at work, it's different because my pronouns are he, him. But I know every now and again someone will be like, well, girl, she did it, talking about Ryan. And it's like, yeah. And it's like, okay, fine, whatever. But it is what it is. It's like, I'm not pressed about it because it's also a queer man. But when it comes from a woman, or especially, it's really the black cis het men. Like, don't do that. Don't say she. Don't say girl. I am a man as well as you are. Don't do me. That's just how I feel. But yeah, nevertheless, I can go on a tangent all day, child.
If there's a cis het and using that lingo, there are other questions that I have outside of just don't call me girl. Because it's given. Oh.
But they're doing it to be homophobic and rude and disrespectful. Like they'll be like, oh, yeah, that girl over there, or that sissy over there, or yeah, she said. And I'm like, what, sweetie? Let me get you together right quick. Last time I checked, I had a dick between my legs, just like you do, and it's probably bigger than yours. Don't check me. So anyway, that's just that on that. Let's go to the next question. So,
because I get to speak on this.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Say what you just said.
So what I was gonna say was, I don't feel like we're equal.
That's fair.
And you literally just gave me a whole little spiel on my masculine presenting privilege, and you're negating the fact that it doesn't matter if we're both feminine. I'm talking about women and gay cis men, or gay men in general, period. If you identify,
men, okay.
I wasn't talking about ethnicity. I was talking about, my trans brothers. Okay.
Okay.
If you identify as a man, you automatically have that male privilege. It doesn't even matter, because at the end of the day, like, if people hate femininity, yes, but again, it also goes back to the whole what I was saying about you being able to change your appearance. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you can be feminine, but if need be, you could, if anybody watches P-Valley, I feel like that's a perfect example of when Uncle Clifford literally took off all of his stuff to go to the bank to try to apply for that loan. It is very much so the same thing. Like, women cannot, they can't take it off. Like, they can bind, they can slick their hair down, they can do all of that thing, all of those things. But at the end of the day, like the voice, like the height, like the boobs, like the hips, like the legs and hips and body, like you can't. There's no getting away with that. Even for trans men, because I feel like they go through this too. Like, trans men, like, they still have a hard time being respected as men, because at the end of the day, sometimes people, all they want to see is like women. And so specifically black trans men / black women. So it's just kind of like, there is a certain amount of respect that we get automatically just because we were born with that thing in between our legs that women just don't get and will not get anytime soon.
I feel like,
unfortunately,
we all know, like, society hates femininity, but society be hating women in general, and that's what sucks. But for me, I agree to disagree. I think we should agree to disagree on that one, because I ultimately think you coming from such a, although you can fluctuate in your energies, but coming from a predominantly masculine, like, background or presentingness, it's different for someone who,
you don't know my life.
Exactly, that's true. But for someone who predominantly has always been this feminine and is more feminine presenting than you are,
again, that's an assumption.
Okay, if you say so. But again, agree, disagree. But for me, for someone who is predominantly more feminine presenting, it is, or when I walk into a room, it's like, although I am seen as a male, it's like I am seen as inferior regardless, because I'm a feminine male. Oh gosh.
So good.
Right. Because I'm a feminine male. And then with that, it's like the male goes out the window. It's just like, oh yeah, he's black, but he's gay. So yeah, that's it. Like the male part is not even identified with that part. Like, although it may seem like it is sometimes, it's not. And I get the difference as where like some women can't do that, but some can. But then as far as like when it comes to men, some feminine presenting gay men, black, cannot really turn that off. Although they can try, although they may like do their best, some genuinely cannot appear masculine and get away with it. Like that's why they have categories in ballroom for that. Like who can really give realness? And some people would not pass that category. Some people would really fall out and get chopped because it just doesn't work. It's not natural, it's not organic, it's not authentic, it's not real, and it's not going to be portrayed as that. You can try your hardest, you can do your best, you can do whatever you need to do, but it doesn't come off as that. But without further ado, let's go to the next thing because I don't want to get too deep into
male
this.
privilege is a thing, and it's always going to be a thing regardless if you're feminine or masculine. You're always going to be a male, and that's always going to give you a certain amount of privilege over a female.
Yeah, as they say, but again, we disagree. Next question. Are there any countries or cities that you fear traveling due to your sexuality?
No, but I also haven't done my research on that. What about you?
Yes. Having not just multiple identities, but just being Black and queer, I do fear going to certain countries that are like, you know, big on killing homosexuals. They find out if they have any inkling, or anybody has an inkling that you may be doing gay activity or gay, they can send you to jail and essentially kill you. Like they can murder you. They can murder you on the street, child, or they can have you convicted and then tried there and then murdered and executed. But like certain parts of Africa, I know certain parts of Africa is nice. I really want to go to Cape Town, South Africa. That's a place I would go because I know it's very gay friendly and it's like the gay central Africa. Certain other parts of Africa, or I know Nigeria, it's very different. Dubai, also very different. They are very particular on seeing certain people or your mannerisms when you're out. Like there's certain things you cannot do while you're in Dubai. Like they have real like laws. Like that's what I'm saying. When you guys travel, look up the laws before you go, especially if you're Black and queer, because some places it's not always safe. Always be aware of your surroundings. That's one thing I would say. Like travel, but like definitely travel with caution. Like I try to avoid those places, but I do want to go to like Jamaica too, and I just be scared. I'd be like, certain parts of Jamaica ain't really the. But if you go to where the more so the what are they called? The tourists. There we go. Where the tourists go, you have a better chance for the most part. But yeah, that's just me. What about you? You said no. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, do some research and you'll see. So y'all do your research.
I don't fear no hoe.
I'm screaming.
Or country.
Oh, well, no, I do because I care about my life.
But that also goes back to my privilege of being able to assimilate.
That's true. And that's that on that. How do you feel about Pose and Legendary being the biggest representation of Black LGBTQ plus individuals today? You gave me this answer a while ago, so I'm ready to hear what you got to say. Get into it, y'all.
We need something more.
Speak up. Speak into the mic.
Current.
Louder.
And then also with Legendary, I feel like it is a competition, but it is an inaccurate representation of what the ballroom community actually does.
Ooh.
Like ballroom battles. And although they have the battles at the end,
speak up.
Like that is not, ballroom is all battles. Mm-hmm. Like, which is why I feel like some houses struggled. You know, this last season. And so, yeah. And as far as Legendary, that's dated. Like, that is from back in the day. And I understand we need to know our history to know where we're going, but we need to know where we're at right now. There are far few in between shows that are doing that for whatever reason. What about you?
That it? Okay. He said what he said. You said it real low. I want you to speak up, but it's okay. I feel like Pose was needed. For those who didn't see Paris is Burning, which is the OG, then they got a concept or some type of concept on what it was to be back in the 80s and 90s when ballroom began and how it formed in our community, our Latinx and Black community, because it's all created by us, POCs. With that, I feel like, yes, Legendary, I feel like it's commercial, very commercial.
Very Hollywood.
I do agree. Although it is entertaining, because I will tune in every.
Oh yeah, I love the show, and my father actually won season 1.
Yes. So although I tune in, and it's sometimes I don't agree with who wins every time. The first 2 seasons, I personally didn't. This season, this 3rd season, I finally actually agreed. So I was happy. So I'll be back to watch 4th. No, I'll be back to watch the 4th because I actually agree with this winner this season. I was happy. But as far as Legendary goes, I feel like it is very commercial. It's more so for, I feel like, cis het people enjoy Legendary. I do feel like it is for the cis het people who, don't know what ballroom is and want to be entertained. They want to see a bunch of people just moving around and dancing and entertaining and all these things because they don't know what is actually going on. They don't understand it. And now it comes to a degree where I know a lot of my straight friends, female or male, will like talk about it and they'll be like, yes, like, ooh, and just be like mocking Logan. I just be like, child, not Legendary, got y'all doing all of this. Like, it's just like, okay, I'm glad you're entertained. I'm glad you're enjoying the show. I'm glad you're watching something. You're learning a little bit of something, but you don't know where ballroom really came from and where it started and everything. And I feel like Legendary should do that, but they don't really do that. Like, of course, Leomi talks about what she talks about. She'll try to like school you and everything because she's an OG, she's an icon. And Deshawn as well as the host. But when it comes to actually talking about, where ballroom came from, I feel like Pose did that. How it began and what was going on in that era with like the HIV epidemic and everything, that talked about that. And Paris is Burning was the OG of that. And I feel like if you haven't seen those 2, watch those, and then you can just watch Legendary for shits and giggles because like you can entertain yourself at the end, but at least watch the core of what it really means to be in ballroom as a LGBTQ plus person. We love Legendary. I watch it. I loved it. I love the winner. I don't want to spoil it for nobody who hasn't finished it, but
already did.
J to the U to the ICY, a little bit of juicy. I love y'all. If y'all watching this, I love y'all. But
I'll edit a clip and send it to them.
I cannot. Without further ado, though, what advice would you give to a Black queer male who is struggling with any of their identities? With his race, his sexuality, or any other identity, child. Like, I don't know.
Your intersectionality is what makes you you. If you don't feel like you belong, create your own lane. Create your own lane, because I promise you're not the only one. And in doing so, they'll come to you. Like, you won't have to look, because they'll come to you. They'll be attracted to your energy. They'll be attracted to your confidence. They'll be attracted to your bravery. So yeah, like, if you don't really feel like you fully identify with, the Blackness or the queerness or, the spirituality, then make your own.
I feel that. I actually feel that. Okay. For me, partially what Dwayne said, all of your intersectionalities or identities in general make you who you are, yes. And with that, you become, how do I say this? You become your full authentic self. And when you become your full authentic self, you then are able to operate in your truest form, which means you can be all of your identities at all times. Although some of identities come out in other times and more than others. Like, I know, like, when I'm Greek, that comes out more so when I'm in a Greek setting. Like, I'm not going to be strolling or doing that all the time. Like, that's not the case. But being Black and queer, that's you all the time. Being, for me, being an artist, that's me all the time. Like, I'm always thinking about creative things to do or something that I want to do creatively, whether it's something I want to do for acting. dance, writing, any of the sorts. I'm like, I want to do all of these. I think when you find things that are sacred to you, latch them onto yourself and grow that identity. Because I feel like a lot of us need to do more exploring. So explore. That's all I feel like. Like, explore. See, like, what you like, what you want to do. And if it's something that's like, okay, I like this, I'm going to do this. And when I do this, that's now a part of me. And it becomes another identity that we don't think about. Like, me now being in the public health field is now an identity, because it's like, oh, I want to do this. And now it's an identity of mine. And I can identify with that. But anybody who's struggling fully with any of their identities, like current identities, my summary of that would be to solely sit with yourself. Like, sit with yourself and figure out why, like, there is a struggle, and hopefully you come up with the answer. Right. Hopefully come up with the answer. And with that, then proceed accordingly. Because I feel like once you find an identity and you identify with anything, it's you, and you can't deny who you are, whether you want to or not.
I can't deny.
You can't deny who you are. So if it's like, oh, I'm queer, I think I'm queer, I don't know, like, I don't know. Sit with yourself. Like, are you attracted to the same sex? Or are you attracted to the same sex and the opposite sex? Are you attracted to non-binary individuals? Are you attracted to trans individuals? Like, what are you attracted to? Like,
what's your flavor? Tell me what's your flavor.
And with that, it's like, well, you're obviously Black. If you know you Black, like, if you know your family history, you Black. That's something you can't deny, typically. But
people try.
Other identities come up.
People do try. And
just learning yourself, knowing, like, are you spiritual? Are you this? Are you that? Like, whatever identity it is, like, just sit with yourself and ask yourself, like, am I this? Like, am I really this? And you could tell yourself, but don't lie to yourself. That's the worst thing to do. Don't lie to yourself. Like, really sit with yourself and ask, like, am I really this thing? Because I need to know. I need to know. But yeah, that's what I was saying. Always be your authentic self. I always press authenticity. Like, authenticity is so important, because you cannot operate fully if you're not your authentic self. Like, some people try, but
I mean, you can, but you won't be happy.
You won't, and it's not.
And you'll always feel like something is missing.
Exactly, and it's not right for you to do that to yourself. Like, you're basically taking away from yourself more than giving anything to yourself. So don't listen to society. Do what you want to do. Identify how you want to identify, and know that you have the support, whether it is in the community, whether it's not in your family, friends, whatever. You have the support elsewhere, and you can find the support. And if you need to find the support and really need the community or any type of resources, you know who to call. Us.
Period.
And that's that on that. But without further ado, we hope you guys enjoyed today's show and learned some identities. And hopefully you thought about more identities that you probably never even thought about before. It was like, oh, yo, I am an only child. That is an identity, I guess. Yes, it is. That's an identity, child. Okay. That's an identity. Because it's a whole different lifestyle being an only child.
It really is. And I'm not even an only child, but I am.
Okay. But without further ado, it is your fave duo saying bye.